Well, good day, my friends, and welcome back to our Nuggets at Noon. Today, I want to look at the book of Deuteronomy, back in the book of Deuteronomy, and see what the Lord requires of us. Again, we have principles here that I believe apply to us today. Have you ever wondered as far as what God really wants from us? You know, there are requirements if you get a job, if you go somewhere to work, there's requirements that you have to meet if you're going to work at that job. Well, if we're going to please God, there are certain requirements that He expects from us. And when we look at the book of Deuteronomy chapter number 10, and again, this is the last words of Moses, God speaking through Moses before this new generation goes into the land of Canaan. So these are important words. But he says here in chapter 10, verses 12 and 13, he says, walk, first of all, number one, there's four actually what the Lord requires. Walk in His ways. Now, when I think of walking in the ways of the Lord, I think of following Him. Paul said in the New Testament, he said that we are to be led by the Spirit, or we're to walk in the Spirit. And so when I think of walking in His ways, I'm thinking of following Him. Wherever He goes, wherever He leads, that is where we are to go. Secondly, we are to love Him in verse number 12. Now, in the New Testament, Jesus said when He was asked about the greatest commandments, He said to love the Lord God with all your heart, mind, and soul. So we are to love Him. You know, I made this statement, I don't believe it was last week, I believe it was, that if you're madly in love with someone, they're never far from your mind. And we often talk about the one or the things that we love. And if we love Him with our heart, mind, and soul, we're going to talk about Him. He's going to always be on our mind. So we walk in His ways, we follow Him, we love Him. And then a third requirement from the Lord is verse number 12, serve Him. In other words, work for Him. Do what He asks us to do. We all have gifts, and we are to use those gifts for the Lord. Serve Him. And I like what it says here, with all your heart, mind, and soul. Now, in the New Testament, it said, love Him with all your heart, mind, and soul. Now it says, serve Him with your heart, mind, and soul. In other words, when you work for the Lord, let your heart be in it. Don't just be dreading it and just, well, I got to do this. We are to serve Him with our heart, mind, and soul. And finally, in verse number 13, keep His commandments. Now, when we are keeping the Lord's commandments, that's when we're in public. It's when we're home in our private life. When people see us, when they don't see us, we are to keep His commandments. He knows our hearts. He sees us. So if we want to please God, these are the things that God gave the children of Israel before they went into the land of Canaan. The four things that He requires: walk in His ways, love Him, serve Him with your whole heart, mind, and soul, and keep His commandments. And I believe those principles apply to you and I today. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.